Am I the asshole for not being grateful for a free dress? So last year was probably the hardest of my life. Diagnosed with breast cancer equals surgery, rounds of chemo, daily radiation. Lots of hormone suppressant meds with forced menopause and fun new side effects. To help me deal, I joined a few support groups and organizations specifically for this. One of the organizations partnered with a fashion label for a giveaway of high-end dresses to 5 of us. It sounded great and I entered to win. I had to write an essay about my experience, so it wasn't just a click of a button. To my surprise, I was selected. We had to join a Zoom call to meet the founders of the label, which was nice until they sent us the shopping link and it was to their clearance rack. I'm talking about very little selection, in undesirable colors or sizes. We had previously been encouraged to follow them on socials, so I had seen all of their lines and picked out a few that I loved. The coordinator of the giveaway at the support organization, not the label, texted me after to see how it went. I expressed my disappointment and she was very upset with me, saying how it was a lot of work for them to read all the essays. I was selected among 200 women that would have been grateful to receive a fancy dress, that she's never owned a dress like this herself before, etc. Am I the asshole for not being grateful? Not the asshole. Why would she text to ask if she's not genuinely interested in your feedback? I think your candid feedback is beneficial to the coordinators, as they can learn what to do better in the future, or that all the effort they put into something like this might not be a good investment, etc. I'm assuming you were reasonably tactful in your expression of your disappointment. I think the prize, being a free dress they very clearly could not sell otherwise, is actually a bit insulting. Not the asshole. At all. I used to work for a company that did product giveaways from time to time, health food, beverages, workout supplements, usually to first responders, for example firefighters dealing with intense and huge wildfires. It was partly altruistic and partly for the potential social media exposure. We always made sure to send the best and most perfect examples of our products, even opting for white glove delivery every single time to ensure that nothing arrived damaged. The fashion label you were dealing with should be ashamed of themselves, and you did nothing wrong. Not the asshole. I volunteer at a charity, and way too many people and companies give away clothes, things, food that should be sent to trash instead. This company used your cause for marketing purposes, nothing more. They advertised this competition and gained attention for pretending to be good company. Allowing only cheap clearance section is a scam and disrespect, plain and simple. Not the asshole. The coordinator is complaining about how much work it was to read the essays that their organization specifically requested, but what about the work you put in to actually write your essay? It sounds like you were honest but not rude that it was disappointing to only have clearance rack options. I'd think you would have been less disappointed if this was you just entering a raffle, i.e. the only info you have to provide is contact info. Not the asshole. They did a bait and switch. You told them that you didn't appreciate that. That woman had a lot of nerve to tell you that you should be grateful. She should have apologized and tried to correct the problem. Not the asshole. What they did was take advantage of cancer survivors for social media clout. It was a bait and switch with a side of virtue signaling. It was never about you, it was about their marketing department wanting to look good. That's why they want you to send photos of you in the dress. I would bet money that they also posted your essay so that their followers could empathize with you and see just how generous they are. Instead, they enticed you to look at their current lineup, with the understanding if you won, you could select something that you enjoyed. You were gracious when you called them out on their scummy practice. If you're taking fire, you're likely directly over the target. Would I be the asshole if I didn't buy my cousin her preferred brand of diaper? Edit. Thanks everyone for all the quick and mostly nice responses. I will be buying her exclusively brand X. Appreciate the swift input. Final edit. To clarify one point only, the diaper raffle is mandatory. Bringing diapers is the entry fee to the baby shower. My cousin, both late 20s, is having a baby shower in a few months. On her baby shower invite, she asked for a specific brand of diaper for a diaper raffle by saying, brand X preferred. Brand X is touted as a luxury diaper brand and costs about $30 for 100 newborn diapers. The key features of it are that it's supposed to be very soft and latex and fragrance-free. It has mixed reviews. My cousin already has twins under a year old. I don't want to share too many details, but she and her spouse are struggling financially. Her mother, my aunt, has expressed to me that they're planning to regularly contribute to the various household needs because things are already tight. I have a set budget for the baby shower and told my other cousin, mom-to-be sister, I was planning on buying a different brand of diaper, common brand name, that seems to have the same features as and better reviews than brand X, but that is a lot cheaper and that I can buy in bulk, $40 for 200 diapers. That way I can buy more diapers for the same budget. Other cousin got extremely mad at me and said I was uninformed about diapers and that I should give the mom to be what she's asked for and let her have a little luxury in her life, and that it was wrong of me to try to solve her sister's financial problems through diapers. I was totally taken aback as that's not what I intended. I didn't say anything to my other cousin about the mom-to-be's finances, and told my other cousin I hadn't thought of it that way and didn't realize there was such a big difference in diapers, as I'm not a mom. So, though I'm now leaning towards buying brand X, would I be the asshole if I also brought one box of the name brand, cheaper diaper? I have zero experience with diapers or babies and don't want to mess this up. Thanks Reddit. New mom here. I initially didn't care about what brand of diapers my son had when we were given them. Boy did I not have any clue. My son got rashes from Pampers, Kirkland, Loves, pretty much everything except Huggies. So if she's asking for a specific and she already has kids, that's probably why. If you end up giving her not the brand she wants, please give her a gift receipt. It will make her life easier if she wants to return them. YWBTA. It's really not your place to decide for them what they need, regardless of their financial situation. If the parents have asked for a specific brand, it means they only want a specific brand. Maybe it's because that's their favorite, and they know they otherwise can't afford it. It's really not your place to choose otherwise. If that brand is out of your budget, give them something else. At a future date, you could always say, hey, I found this brand of diapers and it seems to be the same as X. Want me to grab you some? As a kind, helpful thing? But when it comes to showers, stick to the registry or go with a personal gift. Gentle, you are the asshole. Look, I get it. Cheaper sounds better, especially with diapers. However, just like crayons and glue sticks, diapers are one of those things that are worth the splurge. Some kids have issues with rashes and blow-ups. Take it as a learning experience and get the requested diapers. Info. That way I can buy more diapers for the same budget. Why would a greater quantity of an item they don't want be preferable to a lesser quantity of an item they do? You are the asshole. I just checked the Target website because your numbers seemed funny. 100 diapers for $30 isn't that expensive. Regular Pampers are $28.50 for 96 diapers. Diapers are expensive, get over it or buy something else. Also, you are the asshole if you buy newborn size. My youngest was in size 1 before we left the hospital. I know it sounds weird, but diapers are very specific. If she has twins, and these are the diapers they use, she knows how they work. And from my mom friend, babies can get cranky if the diapers change, so, go with what they want. It may be less luxury and more comfort. Am I the asshole for demanding my brother replace expensive coins? Me and my husband Shane share a large home near a beach. We initially bought it thinking we were going to have kids but ended up deciding against it, so since we have multiple spare bedrooms and it's near the beach, I let my siblings and their kids use the house as a holiday house for when they go on holidays. Recently my brother Tim and his 3 kids, Bessie, who is 9, Jimmy, who is 11, and Timson, who is 13, spent the weekend here while Tim's wife was working and my husband and I were going camping. As of recently, Jimmy has had a bit of an interest in money. He celebrated his 11th birthday last month and did not hesitate to show everyone in the family his savings, which he accumulated from pocket money and his birthday money. I did not realize that his interest in money extended to my coin collection, which I keep in one of the spare rooms, and when we got home on Sunday, I found Jimmy and Bessie playing shopkeeper with some of my previously uncirculated shillings. Jimmy bragged about the fact that he found my shillings, but he stopped when I told him those were rare coins and that they were actually my belongings and not his to keep. He gave me the shillings back, and upon inspection I realized he had polished them. I asked him what he did and he said he accidentally touched them after eating without washing his hands, but it was okay because he brushed them clean with soap and water. At this point I got a bit cross and tried to explain that his polishing of my rare coins made their value plummet, but Tim stepped in to defend Jimmy, saying, "You can't get too mad at him. He's only 11 and he just loves money. Surely the coins can be restored." I was really not happy about this and explained to Tim that Jimmy removed about £200 from the value of my coin collection by doing this, and he started to get mad at me and asked whether I cared more about my coin collection or my nephew. I was not going to be berated in my own home, and so I told Tim and his kids they had to vacate the house early and I was going to need an apology letter from Jimmy before I would feel comfortable having him as a house guest again. After they left, Shane and I searched through the coin collection to make sure no other coins were vandalized, and we found that a gold sovereign was missing from the collection. I called Tim and he told me that Jimmy, Bessie, and Timson were playing with it at the beach but it got lost. At this point I am furious because that coin was worth a lot of money, and I said that Tim would have to replace the coins that his kids either lost or vandalized before they would be welcome in my home again. Tim told me that he didn't have the money to do that because he needed that money to buy Jimmy a new phone, and I said that I didn't care and I would report it as theft if the coins were not replaced. Not the asshole. You shouldn't have had to ask. Tim, if he had any personal integrity, should have been forthcoming and offered to pay. I don't think it would be worth going the criminal theft route, but it's probably worth suing for the loss plus costs in small claims court. And never let that irresponsible group in your house again. Not the asshole. Jimmy's new phone can wait until his father replaces the coin that Jimmy stole. Your brother and his family should no longer be allowed to use your house as they don't respect it or you. Not the asshole. He should have been watching them, and when they found your coins it was on him to parent them about things that don't belong to them. He admitted that he knew they had a gold coin on the beach and didn't stop them or take it from them to return to you. He FA with his lack of parenting, now he gets to foe. Not the asshole. You can't get too mad at him, he's only 11 and he just loves money. Oh, well, if he loves money, then. Finders keepers might work if you find coins on the beach, but not when you're rooting through someone's house. At 11 he's old enough to know not to touch what doesn't belong to him. Your brother is certainly old enough to know to stop the kids from doing this. For all those saying lock it away, this is your family. You clearly didn't think they would steal from you, but now that they have you need to show them this isn't okay. The brother needed the money to buy the vandal a new phone. In my world, why does an 11-year-old need a phone? Is right up there with, why does God need a starship? Am I the asshole for telling my coworker I won't clean up our shared desk? I have started a new job working for my dad as a medical receptionist at one of his practices. It's extremely low-key and I am only working, I have chronic pain, to help him out on days he can't come in as he's desperate for someone to cover phones and admin on those days. The woman who has been working here for 10 years and is very serious about her job, which is great but a bit stressful for me. I have celiac disease, so one crumb of gluten and I'm done for lol. I'm talking sick for weeks and have had to go to the hospital. I am also developing anaphylaxis to wheat. I break out in hives and face rash etc. and have an EPI pen just in case it finally happens. Anyway, I get in today and it's like she's literally eating a crumbly baguette all over the desk and keyboard etc. I didn't even notice, so it's already touched all over my hands and mouse. I cleaned it up in a panic with wet toilet paper because I have nothing else here. I'm honestly scared and upset. She messaged me asking me to clean out the mini fridge, which was just a bunch of sandwiches of hers. I said no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to clean them out as I don't want to touch them due to my allergy. She said I have to as it's part of my job and that the bins go out tomorrow. I told her sorry, I'm not doing that, and if she brings in food and leaves it in there then that's her job to clean up after herself. She let me know that she will be forwarding this to Mark, fake dad's name lol, and I replied saying well, if it's my job to clean out the fridge then it's her job to clean up after herself and not leave over 50 giant bread crumbs over shared equipment, and to get some empathy. If this was a peanut allergy I feel like I'd be taken more seriously, but people for some reason don't think celiac disease is a real thing. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole and you know it. You shouldn't do anything on the job that has a high risk of making you sick. Not the asshole, and luckily for you I think your boss is going to be on your side on this one. Not the asshole. Let her go and tell your father. Your father knows of your allergies. Also get your father to have a cleaning cupboard installed and store cleaning supplies for future worries. As for fridge, I have petty behaviors. I would clear everything out and get my father to make sure everything we eat has to go into an airtight container. As then cleaning out the fridge it should be easier as there shouldn't be crumbs everywhere. Let me get this straight. Your dad is a doctor. Your dad gave you a job. Your dad must know this coworker is sloppy. Your dad must know the fridge has old food in it. Did your dad recently take out an insurance policy on you? Not the asshole. Your job title isn't janitor unless the paycheck says so. Not the asshole regardless of your allergy. You're not responsible for cleaning up her mess or cleaning out a refrigerator that you didn't leave food in. The fact that you have this severe allergy makes her doubly the asshole.